Hello there. My name is Professor BM. I'm a researcher, a true African, and in other words, I am Africa and Africa is me. This is a documentary that each and every living African, moresoever the presidents, must watch. Have you ever wondered why Africa is ever poor, despite the fact that it has all the stuffs and raw materials necessary? Here I'm gonna give you answers. You may not believe if I told you that the state of poverty in Africa is caused by the Westerns. Our great warriors and heroes thought that after fighting and defeating the white man in the colonial period, they brought us independence, but, ops, the white man became more smarter and deceived us again. In 2020, I came across this video of a United States Business Summit meeting, where they were speaking and mocking Africans' state of poverty.
Okay, so the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing. Okay? And to show them it's your fault that you're poor. It's not our fault. It's your fault that you're poor. So this is what we do in academic institutions.
Ever since then, I've been writing this documentary to create awareness to Africans, so that we can find a solution. Africa on its own has all the resources required to make herself a superpower, but because of the things that I'm gonna be showing you, we can never be a superpower, until we open our eyes and most importantly unite. Why was Muammar Gaddafi murdered? The Westerns noticed that Gaddafi had figured out their trick on how they tamed Africans, and so they shut him down before he could share his ideas with the entire Africa. Gaddafi was only trying to liberate and free Africa. Gaddafi had an idea of inventing an African central bank with its own gold-backed currency. This means that all the African countries could be using one common currency, like the whole of the United States do. This could have challenged the power of the dollar, and finally Africa could escape its colonial shackles. Muammar wanted to make Africa a state, and this means that all the African countries could join hands and work together, this tearing down poverty. You might wonder why the NATO and United States brutally assassinated him, yet that's how they run their things. The answer is so simple: the whites are afraid of Africa becoming a superpower, since they know it has all the potentials and resources. That's why they won't let Gaddafi live. Isn't that jealousy and being inhuman? After watching the video for a long time, I asked myself, what are these things that we do, that speaker was talking about? It's
Africa, historically, sub-Saharan Africa, has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. Okay, but this is the opposition that they're fighting. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about. Okay, so the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing. Okay?
What are these things that we do, that speaker was talking about? It's obvious that these are things that we do believe are right, but in real sense they are completely wrong. We might not be able to see them until we reason beyond reasoning. This is because some of them are implanted to us immediately after birth, and the series has been happening for centuries. Tell me your opinions on this issue on the comments section, then hit on the subscribe button, and if you think more people need to watch this documentary, share the link. Remember to subscribe to the channel so that you can't miss episode 2 of this, and many more documentaries of this kind.